Let's start.
Where's Gordon Zora?
He's not starting. He's not going to come with us. He can't.
Oh no!
He sent me a message saying, "Yo guys, I don't like your shitty podcast."
Or for real?
He just said, well, I won't say exactly in case he doesn't want me to reveal it. Basically, he just said he can't do it because of reasons.
Understandable.
Yeah, he'd like to be here, but he can't. All right, so welcome to the 7th episode of the Stupid Podcast. Actually, it's the 8th episode. We did a podcast with Gordon Zora, but it became a complete shit show. We posted pictures of Carrot Head, Walter White. I said the N-word. What else happened? I don't fucking get it.
It's a lost episode. It's gone.
Yep. And Baggy then begs me to remove the N-word. I don't.
Oh no. All right.
I'm not removing it.
Don't want your channel getting taken down because if you just say anything that is basically harmless, depending on the context, you get fucking deleted.
I'll just say it right now. To be honest, I'll just say it. All right, guys. No! I'm gonna say the N-word.
You can't say that. That's racist.
Mrs.
Obama, get down.
What? You can't say necromorph? Oh dear.
Oh, okay.
I just said the N-word. I just said the N-word. Oh dear.
Understandable.
To be honest, I actually don't. I'm actually not afraid of saying the N-word.
No, you can't say that.
Do you know what? I was wondering what that weird pile of flesh in my toilet was. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get to the topics that people want. So, as requested by...
I'm so confused.
As requested by Grunt4500/TJ, he requested us to talk about... And what the fuck was that?
He's daddy.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, let's get to MCCPC. You want us to talk about MCCPC? Alright,
so, we're
going to talk about the fact that Master Chief has the biggest dick imaginable. Alright, I have seen it.
That's why Cortana wants him, because he has such a massive penis
so,
and it's so diddly umptious.
Before we get off topic, we're going to talk about MCCPC. I, for one, am really excited. I've been wanting this for literally years, and I kept making jokes about it with my friends, and a lot of my friends are not big Halo fans. Like, they like Halo, but they're not big Halo fans, so I would be, like, asking for it, and they would just be like, oh god, it's not going to come to Steam, Henry, it's never going to come to Steam. It's going to be on the Windows Store, probably, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Well, the good thing about this is I can now sell my Xbox, so I don't need it anymore.
Honestly,
the funny thing is, sorry to interrupt you, but the funny thing is, Halo 5 is the only Halo game not getting a full PC release. How do you like that, apples?
I wonder why.
I wouldn't mind if Halo 5 was added to MCC.
Never would I.
That would totally be fine by me. In fact, it would be quite nice to have it all in one big package, like the prequel, Reach, and then have like the main games and then Halo 5. Honestly, for people who are kind of on the fence about whether or not they should purchase MCC on PC, please do it, especially on Steam, because that is saying we want more Halo on Steam, and that will increase the chances of Infinite coming on PC, personally.
The Infinite is going to be released on PC.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I mean Steam specifically.
Steam. Yeah, it's going to be released on Steam. Although, what I... Wait, did you have anything to say?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm well aware that Halo Infinite is coming to PC, but people are just theorizing it's just going to be the Windows Store, and that's not going to get nearly as many sales.
If they're going to release MCC on Steam, they're going to release Halo Infinite on Steam.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Oh, do you mind if I interrupt for something? Because I just literally thought up this idea.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
If ODST is coming... If ODST is coming to PC, which I guess it is, someone please make a Flood mod where all of the brutes and enemies during the nighttime sections are just replaced with Flood.
Oh,
please.
Cool. I
can just hear Hidden Xperia just masturbating over that idea.
Although what's funny is that Halo 3 ODST was the first Halo game to not feature Flood.
Yeah.
Halo was featured Flood. Halo 3 Flood. Halo 2 Flood. Halo 1 Flood.
Halo Reach.
Halo Reach didn't have Flood.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't actually think of it that way.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's weird. That it's like now that I think about it, it's weird. I don't know, huh? Weird.
Yeah. But I'll just give my thoughts on Halo MCC being released on PC. I am really happy this has happened because we have not had an official Halo FPS game on PC since 2007 with Halo 2 Vista. So it's been 12
We
years.
all know how that went down.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, it was still nice to have Halo 2 on PC, but goddamn, Jesus Christ. What the fuck were they thinking? But it's...
By the gods.
What have they done? So, like, you know, it's nice to have, like, all these games on, like, PC, and the fact that, you know, this is like a very big ballsy thing for Microsoft to do, to take, like, their biggest entertainment franchise, and the fact that they're making it multi-platform now. Halo is no longer an exclusive, it's now multi-platform.
I honestly, this is one of the things that I've been talking about with Halo. Halo is mostly a Western thing, like
Yeah.
Canada, you know, stuff like that, like Canada, US, stuff like that. Very few people I've heard play in the eastern regions of the world, and honestly, having MCC come to Steam is going to be a huge thing.
Yep.
Like Russian people, Russians, Japanese,
Suka,
Chinese, stuff like that. Like they don't really. Halo isn't really a big thing, and that's one of the reasons why Halo Online was originally made for Russians, because they wanted to have a private test group, kind of, to see how well it would spread in a public place that is kind of unknown to Halo.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, MCC on PC is like literally the best thing you could ever do, and it is pretty ballsy, like you said. And one of the things that I thought of is Microsoft and Steam aren't like the best when it comes to like they're kind of enemies when it comes to selling games and stuff.
And now they forged the bridge.
And yeah, and now they've like Microsoft has put literally their baby on Steam's baby. Like they are having a freaking play date over here with their children. And Steam is making like, I think it's like 25% of that cut.
30%.
Steam's gonna make 30%. They're gonna make bank. Like they're gonna make millions. I'm thinking. Like Steam is gonna sell probably at least a couple million for Halo MCC. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Because with Steam sales and everything, not within the first few months, but in the first few years, absolutely, it's gonna sell a few million. Especially with like Steam sales and stuff, like that's going to be huge. Millions of copies are going to be sold, and the Windows Store just does not have that kind of traction, and it just won't make that kind of money.
Yeah.
And Steam's just
I think
that's probably one of the reasons.
I think it's because Hidden Xperia made a video explaining why Halo needs to be on Steam. Stop with the orgasms, Baggy. Honestly, we know you like gangbangs. Leave it out.
It's just good for everyone. The
Yeah.
Halo community is going to get a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be some YouTubers, like big YouTubers coming into the Halo community now. There's going to be new people.
I don't want fucking Ninja to be involved with this.
Oh, God,
for fuck's sake.
No.
I don't want him clickbaiting the shit out of Halo. I don't want him to fucking do that.
I feel like it's just going to be good for everyone. Like, I feel like there's going to be content creators that are going to start anew in the Halo community. Like completely new people who just got into Halo, new and old, it's just great. It's just going to be a huge community building thing. The community is just going to get bigger. There's going to be more people, artists, YouTubers, SFM artists, animators, like all that. More people are going to be dragged in to this community from all across the world because of this.
Yeah. And
Talking of SMF, Talking of SMF, it's just really hard for me to say sometimes. You're talking about working on that stuff, aren't you, Henry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, a few years ago, I got into it, and I think I have like 15 hours on it in Steam, and that was like it was a really short phase.
You're on it right now.
Where I spent like. Yeah, exactly, because I'm working. But yeah, no, it's something that I've always wanted to learn, and I kind of got the hang of it, like basic animation. But this year, I really want to like try. So yeah.
You know what you should do? You should probably take some of the best moments of our podcast and like make an animation out of that.
No.
Oh, I was thinking about that. Like the first, one of our first ones that we had, where it was us three. I can't remember what it was. Where it's like I wasn't ready to answer a question, and then No Life was like, Henry, what do you have to say about this? And I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know.
I remember
something like
It was
that.
the
Yeah.
second one, yeah.
If I do get good at animating, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because J-Dog had some animator do a source filmmaker thing for him, but it was just completely out of nowhere. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool actually. So hopefully, you could do something like that for this in the future when you get better or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll pay you in back rubs, don't worry.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No. You'll pay him with V-Bucks.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here, Baggy!
Default dance time. Oh my god. Oh, actually, interesting thing. Have you heard about the Epic Games launcher? It's basically spyware.
Yeah. That's why I'm not doing it.
Oh
That's
my
why
gosh.
It's the same thing with EA Origin.
Yikes! Like, there was a guy who posted a photo of, like, all the things it does, and it is, like, holy like, obviously some things are gonna take into account what you do on your computer and stuff, but this, like, searches your internet history, like, it takes into account, like, how long you play other games and stuff, like,
Well, if it goes from my internet history,
my
everyone
God.
knows everyone already knows I'm a
God,
degenerate
yeah.
is.
Could you imagine, like, the AI system or whatever it is just looks through Mr. No Life's browser history, just gets a gun, just shoots itself, just like, nope, I'm out.
Actually,
You,
I'll
start
go through
your
my
computer.
history. I'm going to go through my history right now. I'm going to see what I have in
Oh
it.
god, no.
I'm just
God,
going to
no.
list off a bunch of things. Twitter, YouTube,
Okay.
Massive anime titties.
Big ol' anime titties.
IMDb, word counter, there we go, Pornhub.
Shit.
Yeah, but no, getting back to the topic, yeah, I just think it's really great, and like a lot of people are saying, like, oh, why Microsoft making the thing multi-platform? Then they're going to lose money from it. They're not going to lose money from it. They're going to make more money.
Yeah, they're literally
Talking of the whole,
millions.
Talking of the whole exclusive stuff. When you said that Halo isn't exclusive anymore, could you class it as a Microsoft exclusive,
Nope,
but
because it's
not
on
a
Steam.
console exclusive?
Nope, it's on Steam, so it's not Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not exclusive.
Steam isn't really a gaming platform. It's
It
just
is.
a store, really.
It is a game.
Would you really call it that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, as in a console.
Is it like a what?
Okay, so let's get MCC on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
Nintendo Switch.
Actually, a lot of
Switch.
PlayStation viewers watch Hidden Experience videos, so obviously a lot of PlayStation people have an interest in Halo, so maybe.
They're jealous.
I mean, yeah, that would be cool, actually.
Yeah, no.
Although, one thing, I need to see Master Chief in Smash Brothers. I need that.
Okay, I'm gonna
need
be
it.
honest. If Chief gets added to Switch, I've said this on Twitter, I've said this on YouTube, I've said this on social media, and I mean it. I'm a man of my word. If Chief does happen to get added as part of one of those passes onto Nintendo Switch, I will buy a Nintendo Switch. That
I already
is
have a
like
Nintendo Switch. I'll send it to you.
I need to see my three boys. I need to see Master Chief, Mario, and Sonic pummel the shit out of each other. I need to see it. I need
Mario
it.
wins that fight any day.
Who would win? A super soldier trained from freaking childbirth? No, ever since he was a child, trained, fought, basically destroyed an entire alien
Survived a nuke.
empire single-handedly, survived a nuke, or just some fucking Italian plumber.
Well, actually, no. Mario is actually he can actually he's actually incredibly strong. I think he can hold like 270 million pounds.
Wow.
And also,
I mean,
he moves 13 times the speed. He moves 13 trillion times the speed of light.
And while the battle's about to end, fucking Isaac from Dead Space just hovers down like he's fucking Iron Man. Sonic just turns into a necromorph, and he's just like, no, bang, bang. Just like, fuck.
Yeah, I guess the foam finger out. Bang, 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 bang.
How do you get that? I need to know how you get that.
You beat the game on hardcore mode. I actually do have a save file with the foam finger.
Oh, fuck's sake. Because I just started New Game Plus, and I put it on survivalist. I was thinking, oh, wait.
Hardcore mode, you can only save 3 times throughout the whole game.
Oh, fuck.
Yep, it's a pain in the ass. I've tried it.
Oh, I guess we're going to switch to Dead Space.
No, keep off Dead Space. I'm working on a video on Dead Space. You don't have to repeat the same shit twice.
We're not going to be talking about the mechanics.
We're
not going to be talking about mechanics. I watched a really awesome video with who was the main director of Dead Space? Something Schofield or whatever his name was.
I don't know.
The guy who made Dead Space. I watched I'll send the link to you. It was a really good video on how
Todd Howard.
Yeah, man, it just worked.
Wait, which video are you talking about? Are you talking about the one where he says, "Oh, I want to make another Dead Space"?
No,
or
the one where he sits down and he talks about like Dead Space for like 10, 18 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and he talks about how like one level nearly fucked the entire thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good video. He seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, he knows what the fuck he's doing, and I'll tell you what, if he doesn't get like hired to make another horror game, if 343 are doing this whole spin-off shit with Halo, get that motherfucker hired. Get him hired now.
Unfortunately,
Honestly,
he didn't.
yeah.
I would. Huh?
Unfortunately, he didn't work on Dead Space 2. In 2009, he made his own company, Sledgehammer Games.
Oh dear.
But hey, at least Dead Space 2 is great.
Yeah, fuck, man. Fucking Sledgehammer. I mean, granted, they make Modern Warfare 3, which is one of my favourites, but we don't talk about Advanced Warfare and we don't talk about World War 2. We talk about COD. We don't talk about COD World War 2. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about World War II. So I actually 100% agree with what Hitler said. I mean, that was honestly.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. All right. So okay. So yeah. So final closing statement on Halo MCC PC.
Oh, I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too.
Enjoy your fun time, PC boys. Enjoy your masturbation times over this.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Halo is no longer an exclusive.
You had this coming. When I say coming, I don't mean as in
as
C-U-M.
in like the kind of.
I don't know. So when are the? Okay, so I guess that's the closing on.
I mean, to be fair, there aren't that many exclusive games coming out this year. What exclusive games are coming out this year?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe,
honestly,
maybe Infinite. I don't know.
I highly doubt it.
It's coming out next year.
Unless they split it, where basically like, oh, the campaign comes out this year and then the multiplayer comes out like early next year. Didn't they do that with? Wait, which game actually kind of did that?
Exactly. You can't even think of the example, man. Come on.
No, I can. I can. I just can't remember. I just can't remember the name because it was such a long fucking time ago. I can't fucking remember. It did happen. It has happened like once, but I just can't fucking remember. Anyway, we may never know. It could come out.
I'm saving
It could come out. There you go. Make an SMF. Make a source filmmaker out of that. My fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. But what exclusive game is coming out this year? Honestly, I can't think of any. So yeah, it's
there's Last of Us.
That game's shit. No one cares.
Oh!
Oh my god! You just. I mean, I've not played it, so I can't really make an opinion on it. I only just look at the cutscenes. That's it.
It's a shit game.
Oh man, I can't wait until that Life is Strange video. The amount of shit you are gonna get. Oh my fucking god!
Oh yeah, because a lot of people somehow like that game. I don't know why.
I don't like. I don't get it. I don't get the game. I just don't. It looks fucking terrible. It
is
cheap.
terrible. I'm actually very highly like convinced right now. I am so tempted to call it a movie review because it's basically just an interactive TV show. I do not want to call it a video game. I'd rather play Max Payne 3 over Life is Strange because at least Max Payne 3 is a fucking video game.
That's wow. Those
And
are,
look at
those are
Telltale
some
as
powerful
well.
words.
Yes. Max
Look at
Payne 3 is
Telltale
better.
games as well.
What?
Look at Telltale games as well. Didn't they like do the whole interactive stuff a lot better than Life is Strange? So there you go.
Well, Telltale's games weren't shit, so I guess.
I mean, I don't like Telltale games because
Neither do
I just don't like that. I don't like that style that they did with Walking Dead.
Neither
I just
do I.
don't like it. Okay.
Yeah, but Life is Strange, a lot of people like it. I don't. I think it's complete and utter ass. The story is a piece of shit. The gameplay is non-existent. Story and characters completely fucking awful. And the whole game is pointless because at the end of the game you get 2 choices. Either choice negates the whole game. So, well done. You wasted your time.
So is that kind of like with Mass Effect 3?
Yep. Oh, no, it's worse.
Oh, fuck.
It's worse because at least with Mass Effect, at least your choices did kind of lead to something. With Life is Strange, literally it negates the whole game. The whole game is pointless.
Wow.
Like at least with Mass Effect, your choices were pointless, but at least the whole game wasn't pointless. Literally with Life is Strange, the whole fucking game is pointless.
That's the problem with having like stuff like that in games. It's very difficult to execute because sometimes you got to make sure it doesn't conflict with any other aspect of the entire game as a whole.
None of your choices in the game matter whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like with Shadow the Hedgehog. Obviously, you can choose between good, neutral, and evil, but it has something called a last story segment where basically you can just be a dick to anyone at the last second, and it just completely ruins everything that you've just like worked on. It's depending on what side you choose. So if I wanted to, if I wanted to go for a good campaign, the last story segment happened, and I could just turn around and be a dickhead to Sonic and go bad.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, okay, so I was good the entire time. I can decide whether to be a bad guy just at the last second. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I like that game, but all that shit just doesn't make sense at all.
Honestly, the Life is Strange video, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's probably going to be twice as long as the Max Payne 3 video. I'm just going to make a prediction. Because honestly, with that game, literally there's so much wrong with it, I could take any scene from the game and make like a 20-minute video on why it's shit.
Wow.
I mean,
it's so shit, honestly.
I like lengthy videos, especially when I want to play a game, but also I like to listen to the audio as well. So if it's a long video, that's good. But my problem with long videos is that, like, obviously they're extremely long and it's just a video. I just want to watch something that has a lot of meat, but
I'll have some
not too long.
intermissions in between them.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I kind of say maybe split them in parts, part 1, part 2.
Nah.
Nah?
Just put them in, just have some intermissions. But yeah, I don't want to talk...
The one thing...
Oh, sorry.
The one like kind of example I can give, even though he didn't split it in part, he didn't split it in half, was Some Call Me Johnny's review of Sonic 06. It was 50 minutes long, but it was just done right to the point where I was like, no, I want to spend the next 50 minutes watching.
Oh,
this,
you want to spend the next 2 hours watching my videos, Baggy? How dare you? I can't do this anymore.
That's 2 hours.
You don't. Yeah, you don't want to watch this. I'm gonna go kill myself. Goodbye, Tails. Goodbye, Knuckles.
And then Logan Paul finds you in a forest.
Oh my god.
There's only one Logan I care about.
Wolverine.
Yep. And he's dead now.
He is alive. No. He's alive.
No, he's
I
dead.
refuse to believe that. No, I refuse
He's
to
dead.
I refuse to believe that he's dead.
He
is
died in the
Wolverine.
film.
Nah, he's coming back.
He's dead.
He's coming back.
For fuck's sake, Baggy, he's dead.
Beggy, please.
Nah.
It's
He's Wolverine.
like-
You can't die.
For fuck's sake, Baggy, he's fucking dead. Shut up.
Next, you're gonna tell me he's
you
gonna
not
like,
read the
climb out of the
comics?
grave. He's gonna fucking climb out of the grave in like the fucking after credits of Avengers Endgame. and he's just gonna
would be
crawl out and
awesome.
He's gonna look at the screen and be like, "By the way, we're the same universe now, same cinematic universe."
How the fuck would that work? Because like Logan is set in 2029.
I know.
How would it work?
But like, just a quick thing. Like, have you not read the comics? Because
I have read the comics.
I don't want to say.
I'm a big fan of the X-Men comics.
So, have you read the one, like parts where like he just gets completely obliterated to the point where he turns to ash, but then he still survives because he grows back his entire body?
I mean, in the comics, the original Wolverine is actually dead now in the comics.
Yeah, I can get that to some extent. I mean, like with multiple timelines and all sorts of pieces.
The only versions of Wolverine that are currently alive is the Old Man Logan Wolverine and also the X-23 Wolverine in the comics. The original Wolverine died because he covered himself completely in adamantium and he suffocated.
Oh my.
Anyway.
Oh dear.
So yeah.
Wolverine's dead. Talk about Dark Phoenix. We can talk about Dark Phoenix.
Oh. No. Actually, I'm just gonna send one clip to, because I saw the Dark Phoenix trailer. By the way, I just want to say right now, this is gonna be the final film in the X-Men, Fox universe, and the final effort they're gonna make for this 19-year-old film series is remaking X-Men 3. What the fuck?
Wait, how's it the last? I thought they were gonna be making more.
Nope, it's the last.
Really?
Seriously?
Yes.
That makes no fucking sense. How the hell are they gonna like? What that's just it? That's it?
Yes. That's it.
Fucking hell.
I guarantee in like 5 years it's not. They're gonna make more. They're gonna be like, by the way, we're rebooting it. It's a reboot this time.
Well, they've already rebooted it in some sense with Days of Future Past. In a way.
Yeah?
Again.
So it's like reboot it again, and Future Past only came out like 5 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Time for another reboot, fellas.
And Logan takes place in an alternate timeline, so that just fucks up the whole thing.
Oh man, if only X-Men 3 wasn't that shit, then maybe like this whole confusion between the franchise wouldn't have existed.
No, there's still continuity errors even without X-Men Days of Future Past. Like, the whole franchise, like, story-wise is completely... Like, the plot of X-Men Days of Future Past makes no sense because, I'll just go quick tangent. Okay, so the whole story is the fact that, they killed Bolivar Trask, so they put in the Sentinel program, and then over the next 50 years it evolves, starts killing all the mutants. But the thing is, in X-Men 3, we see Bolivar Trask in, like, 2006, he's alive, yet in 1973 he died, apparently. Doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. And then like the Sentinels started killing humans because they detected human.
Because the mutant gene is in everyone.
The mutant gene. Yeah. So that kind of like goes, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Days of Future Past is a wicked film and all
that. I know, it's a great
but
film.
Sometimes
great film.
Yeah, my dad fucking loves it. He absolutely
loves it too. It's my favorite X-Men film.
But unfortunately, well, I won't say it's his opinion. He does like Origins Wolverine.
Fucking hell, mate! What the hell? Right, that's it. I'm gonna fish out.
But he likes
the harpoon.
But he likes Logan and he likes the Wolverine. Wolverine is a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's good. X-Men 2 is great, and X-Men 1's great.
Until Nostalgia Critic shat on them.
Like, the thing is, Nostalgia Critic, I saw his review. His video, the whole video, is just him saying it's not like the comics, and it's just like, it's a fucking movie.
I mean, like, he does admit when a certain scene is either good or bad.
Yeah, but it's like, there's things he calls plot holes, they're not plot holes. Like, he says, like, oh, the X-Men jet comes out of the basketball court. It's not a fucking plot hole. Do you know what a plot hole is, Nostalgia Critic? It's a gap in a story.
Oh, I thought it was just Doctor Who.
Oh my gosh. I'm very excited to when he reviews Origins Wolverine.
Not me.
Because first off, what even time does that movie take place? Because they have all this modern technology and all that sort of business. It takes place
in 1979.
But then, like, there's one shot where Will.i.am is like, he has this gun that wasn't around in the time period that you just said. I can't remember the gun.
Who cares? Listen, okay? All right,
I know, but it's just like little details like that,
It doesn't make any sense because Emma Frost appears in X-Men Origins Wolverine as a teenager, yet in X-Men First Class, which takes place in 1962, like a whole decade before Origins Wolverine, she's a full-grown adult.
Again,
exactly.
Don't forget the most important thing about Origins: they fucked up Wade Wilson.
We're not talking about that. Moving on. When Deadpool 2 is making fun of X-Men Origins Wolverine, you know it's a shit film.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you find everyone found Origins to be a shit film,
Yeah.
but like I wasn't allowed to go and see it because it was too violent. Even though I was,
What?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at
my
I'm flicking
parents
around
said
an
that I
SFX.
couldn't go and. My parents said to me after they saw it, no, we can't. You can't go see it. It's too violent. Bearing in
I'm
mind, I
younger than you
played
and I
fucking.
saw it in cinemas, and I thought it was shit.
Bearing in mind, I did play Grand Theft Auto and all that sort of shit when I was fucking 4 years old. Manhunt as well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I played Mortal Kombat when I was like 3.
Exactly. So saying a 12 rated film is violent, I
Well, it
didn't
can
get
be.
that. But then again, well, they can be sometimes.
The Wolverine is pretty violent, especially the extended cut.
Well, that's the extended cut.
Yeah, but even like the theatrical cut is pretty violent.
Oh yeah, I mean, like he gets.
He says the F word 3 times. It's unacceptable.
I'm not going to go into the whole age rating shit. 'Cause
Oh, I will. I'll
that's-
do that later. Actually, I want to talk about that later.
No. Seriously, that's a fucking shitstorm. Please do not. It's so long.
I will
It's
talk
so
about it.
fucking
We'll
long.
talk about it later.
Oh god.
Anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah, X-Men Dark Phoenix. Probably my favorite. Okay, we haven't even talked about Dark Phoenix. That's the thing. We just went on a tangent for the X-Men films. All right, so Dark Phoenix. It looks shit. Goodbye. Also, my favorite line from the trailer is when Professor X, he like James McAvoy is trying to do a Patrick Stewart voice, and Cyclops asks him what are we gonna do, and he just says in a Patrick Stewart voice,
Yeah,
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Although I will say like that one shot of Magneto getting all the guns and they're all firing next to him. That's a cool shot. I like.
What I find funny is that when they're in the train, if you look at the officers and like the tags on it has MCU on the side of their uniforms, the MCU is taking away the X-Men.
What other part of it's like the end of the trailer, when you see them all locked up, and then
Yeah.
is it Magneto or one of them? One of them says she's coming, and then you just see like this glowy thing in the sky. Like that's threatening. I like that.
No,
That was
but here's
really
the thing.
good.
This movie doesn't matter because at the end of Days of Future Past, they show us that everything ends up okay. So this whole movie doesn't even fucking matter.
I mean, I don't want to shit on people who never make movies before, but the guy who's making it, it says on whatever, it says like it's fictional debut or whatever like that. So I guess that means it's his first movie.
Yep.
So like what, he's never made like a short film or anything like that. It's his
It's
first ever thing. He's shit.
Wait, the
I mean,
voice
I
guy's
don't
gonna
want to
be
shit on
one.
first. Oh, yeah, it's alright. I don't want to shit on first-time directors, but when you have stuff like that, it's very hard to tell whether the movie is going to be good or bad.
Yeah.
It really is. Again, like I don't want to shit on people who want to become first-time directors, and but it's not a good way. It's not a good choice.
The X-Men film
It's
should
a
have ended
risk.
with Logan. It's the perfect swan song for the whole series.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking about watching Logan today, actually, but then
I-
Dead Space came to mind.
Well, actually, do you watch the noir version or the regular version?
I just watched the regular version
Oh,
because I
you're
don't
a
have
pussy.
Blu-ray. I don't have Blu-ray.
Well, I don't know. I prefer the noir version actually.
Well, it was inspired to be a Western, wasn't it? Like the director
Yeah.
said that it was meant to be Western inspired, so having it black and white makes perfect sense.
Yep, and it's really awesome.
Didn't they also do the same with one of the John Wick films as well, where it was in black and white?
No, they did it with Mad Max though. It didn't really fit Mad Max because Mad Max is supposed to be
Yeah.
like a colorful, vibrant world.
I tell you what, though, these whole noir things are kind of pointless because all you have to do is grab your TV remote, go into the settings, and just change the color, change it to black and white or whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is with Logan, it isn't just a case like they switch it to black and white. They actually had to regrade each individual shot to make sure it looked fine when they changed it to black and white.
Okay, yeah, there's like little things like that, definitely.
Yeah, because otherwise you just look like a complete shit if they turn it over to black and white.
Yeah, I might give that a go actually, just to see how it looks.
It might look fine,
Obviously-
but it's just like it won't look professional.
Yeah, I mean that's just my personal preference. If I watch it, through black and white, just through the settings, I go, actually, it looks good. Then that's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
Um.
Anyway, Logan's a great fucking film.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead, Baggy. Stop trying to say he isn't dead. Hugh Jackman has said it's the last time he's going to play the character.
He's alive, I tell ya.
Hugh Jackman's like one of the coolest guys in Hollywood.
Obviously, duh. My mum loves him. She'd do anything for him.
No, actually, like Hugh Jackman.
Have you not seen fucking Australia? She fucking loves that film.
I know he's an Australian, playing an Australian in a film called Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh.
no, but Hugh Jackman just seems like one of the nicest celebrities ever. He's up there with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Oh, Keanu Reeves. But fucking, I don't know, but every time I just look at that dude, I feel I feel sorry for him. I don't know why, but I just feel sorry for him.
He's had a crappy life. Yeah,
it's just like, man, look at you. You're so perfect. But it's bring him into more films.
Well, Henry has switched over to Team Fortress 2, so now we're going to switch over to the next topic. All right. So,
fantastic.
Assassin Wolf asked us to talk about anime titties. All right. So, what do you? He actually did. So.
Okay. Right, did you hear my desk?
All right. So
did my desk slam?
Henry, what are your thoughts on anime titties, and which are the best ones?
Well, you know what? I'm a man of culture. Wait, this was actually a serious question. Okay.
Yes.
You know what? Let's see. Okay, I'm a man of culture. I think typically, size matters.
Squishiness.
Squishiness. I think that's important.
Can't believe we're actually talking about tits.
Large. I'm a
podcast.
Tall, big. I'm a tall, big guy. I'm 6'8". You know what? I'm a tall, big guy. Gotta like them big. That's just kind of how I live my life. So, yeah, there we go. Fuck, I don't fucking know. I'm trying to say this with a straight face, but I have no idea. Sure.
Here's my favorite.
Let's see. Okay. All right.
I just posted tits in the chat.
Oh, fucking hell.
All right.
Yeah.
Is this question directed at me?
Yes.
I think it's directed at everyone.
All right, let's do it right now. Come on, Baggy. Anime titties, what are your thoughts?
Tits don't matter, personality does.
There you go. Now that's a man. That's a real man.
No,
but you can't dodge the question. You can't dodge the question.
Baggy. Tits matter.
Okay, as long as they don't look like the tits from a thought, then I guess.
There we go.
Looks matter, alright, Baggy? Looks matter.
Oh, jeez. We're terrible people.
How are we terrible?
Happy wife, happy life. Unhappy wife, stone cold misery for the rest of your life.
Anyway, how are we being...
While we're talking about anime titties, I just want to put out the one rule that I always follow. Only have one waifu, or else it'll destroy your life, boo. That's a...
Right, but anyway, we're not terrible people, okay? Looks do matter. I'm tired of people saying they don't because they do.
Beauty is...
I mean, you don't want your girlfriend looking like a fucking combat form, do you?
Yeah, you don't want to... I think it...
Gravemind on the other hand... But, yeah. Gravemind on the other hand, I wouldn't mind.
This podcast
okay, so moving on. Moving on to the next topic.
Alright, so the next question... Okay, the other topic, I think this is the serious topic you wanted us to talk about, was let me just pull it up right now, because I don't know where it is. Anime titties is now in my history. I don't give a shit. Because, who cares? I'll just pull it up right now. In the meantime, I'll just make some... I'll just sing the entire All-Star.
Oh boy. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
I ain't the sharpest tool.
We get copyright claims.
She was
we're gonna
kind of dumb
claims.
with a finger and a thumb in the shape
I'm actually
of a nail on her forehead. Well, the years
I
start
actually
coming and they
think I
don't
got
start coming.
copyright
Fed
claimed.
to the rules and I hit the ground running. Does it make sense not to live for fun? Your brain gets smart, but your head gets numb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the backseat? You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Hey, now you're North like game on, go play. Hey, now you're rocks like the show on, get paid. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. There we go.
You do realise that Henry just jumped off a bridge while you were singing that?
Mine diamonds.
And
Mine diamonds.
now just do
Oh my God.
Eminem's Rap God.
Oh God.
Do it, Baggy.
What?
Do Eminem's Rap God. Do the fast part in Rap God.
I don't know it.
I do.
Oh.
It's a shit song. I'm sorry.
What?
It's worse than Venom, in my opinion.
Oh
Get
my
out
goodness.
the podcast now.
Mom, Dad, stop fighting!
Right, that's it, Baggy. Sing Eminem's Rap God. Sing the fast part. Otherwise, I will do it.
I don't fucking know it. I've never even fucking heard of the. Well, no, I have heard of the song, but I can't remember it. It was so fucking long ago that I heard it. So piss off.
Alright.
Oh dear!
Ravioli, ravioli.
Don't
Don't
lewd
lewd any
the
lollies.
Spidey whatever the fuck
no.
it is.
Oh no. Oh, Spider-Verse is a pretty good film. Putting that out there.
I've still
people-
not seen it.
You should.
Get
you
on
should.
the podcast now. Get on the podcast. Right.
You should. It's like one of the best animated films I have ever
It won an
seen.
Oscar. You got to see it now.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm looking into my dark bathroom and I've just realised two massive glowing eyes. Did you just send a necromorph into my fucking house?
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, dude.
To be honest, I actually have no idea what scares me.
Come here, I'm gonna shoot off your fucking limbs.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of horror, I actually have no idea what scares me.
What? Wait, you don't know what scares you? Oh.
No, because nothing seems to scare me.
The only
What's-
thing. Oh, sorry.
What scares me is when kids are involved. Like I can't watch any
so
films that have kids.
You'll hate
Kids
fear
getting
then
hurt.
because of armor.
Well, no, if a kid's about to get hurt, I can't watch it. That's why I can't
Why?
watch. I know it's not a horror film. Have you not seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that movie. It's actually a really good movie. And also, I've read the book.
It's a good film, but I can't watch that ending. It actually legitimately freaks me out.
In the Alvan, the mighty Alvan, the Jews they sleep tonight. Which is-
Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? He was just baking. He was just baking. He was just making. He was just trying to. Nothing happened in the film. He just, he.
Wait, stop a minute. He's the Alvan, but the Jews in it.
Oh my goodness. Gee, oh no! I have a really dark sense of humor. I'm just gonna
Me
put that
too.
out there, but I try to reserve it for when I'm in a public place or
don't-
when I'm on a podcast.
Oh, don't worry,
Well,
man. I mean,
technically, the internet is a public place. Oof.
yeah, don't worry, man. I
I,
mean, if you want to know something about me, 12 Years a Slave was my favorite comedy of 2013.
Oof.
Oof.
Anyway, but so next topic you wanted us to talk about was I have it up here now. Actually, I can talk about it. The balance between story and gameplay in video games is a cool idea.
Oh, this is a really good
matter.
question. I have a lot to say about this.
Okay, me too.
Epic, you go first.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Alright, so so the thing is, alright, gameplay should always be top priority in a video game. I'm sick of video games that are basically just interactive movies, alright? And I'm sick of them.
Cough, cough, telltales.
Life is Strange, Until Dawn, Last of Us, pretty much.
No, Last of Us is a third-person shooter.
Yeah, and it's shit. I'm gonna do a video on it sometime. But I'm just tired of it because it's just a case of like I don't think video games are about they're about interaction. I mean you can get I think like Examine Life of Gaming said it best. It's just the case like mechanics is what makes a game a game. You can get a story anywhere else in like movies, TV shows, it's like
I guess my argument to that is that depending on what the gameplay is, if it connects to the context surrounding the story, then I guess both do matter at the same time.
Alan Wake did a good job of that, but even then, it had the gameplay was the top priority.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think my best example of gameplay over story has to be the Sonic games.
Half-Life.
No one plays.
Doom.
No one. Well, yeah, all that I know that, but I'm just
Quake.
saying, like, as the worst way they've done it or whatever. Like with Sonic games, the main thing is the gameplay. The story is just kind of a secondary thing,
Nah, man,
really.
I play it for the story. Mm.
Yeah, you play Sonic 06 for that one scene, don't you? The kissing scene, you bastard.
No, I just watch porn of it, honestly.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm quite blunt, to be honest. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just like...
I mean, if you have something like Sonic Unleashed, which has him turning into a werewolf or whatever, it then switches to the werewolf gameplay. So you have switches between different gameplay styles.
I think the way Valve designed their game was like the best, because the way Valve would design their games like Half-Life 2 is that they would make the gameplay mechanics first, and then write the story around it so it fits into the story.
Isn't that what the first Dead Space did? But except like there were no cutscenes. It was all in real time. There was just
same
it
with
was
Half-Life
just
2.
fucking.
Dead Space
Yeah.
2 actually was like that too. I mean, like, it's pretty impressive. The whole game is like one shot.
Oh shit! You're right.
Yeah. No cuts.
So there's no loading screens in that game like whatsoever. Then
Pretty much, yeah. It just continuously loads.
I mean, you could kind of say that Half-Life 2 has loading screens
Yep.
because it does.
Yep.
So it's not really in one shot.
It is,
It
technically.
depends. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a case of like, and I feel like it's really annoying because of the fact that I feel like a lot of developers feel like the only way to tell a story in a game is to basically make it an interactive movie, and it's just like, well, plenty of games show you don't have to do that. Halo 2 had an amazing story, and yet, it's an 8-hour long game. Only 1 hour of it was like cutscenes. That's still 7 hours of gameplay you're getting out of it. I mean, another good example.
But then again, the gameplay connects to the context surrounding it.
Well, yeah, like the story in pretty much every game does. That's not really saying anything, Baggy.
How do I explain it? It's just like, it's really hard. It's really hard for me to explain. Sometimes I just want to shoot myself.
I think
It's like,
one of the guys who worked on the original Doom, I think he said it best. It's just like story in a video game is like a story in a porno. It's expected to be there, but it shouldn't be the main focus.
Yeah, but the problem is pornos are just shit.
Okay, but does that rebuttal his point?
Pardon? Sorry, you broke up.
But does that rebuttal his point? Does pornos being shit rebuttal his point?
Well, just pornos in general are just shit. The concept,
Okay, but does that rebuttal his point,
the
though?
concept is just shit in general. So the story, man.
But does that rebuttal his point?
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's just
Porn
like...
is just a stupid concept.
Yeah, because it's just a case of like, like I can play a game that has a shit story but great gameplay, but I can't play a game that has great story shit gameplay. Can't do that.
I mean, like, if I can't believe we're talking about fucking story and porn. If you were to,
Jesus Christ, man, stop!
All right.
Alright, let's talk about the story in the porno of the Lego movie. Yeah, he what does he do? He sticks his Lego brick dick into
No.
I guess it's depending on the idea. Like, have you heard of the Superman and Batman one? No.
Wait, what?
There's, when Batman vs Superman came out, someone actually made a porn parody of it.
Stop! Stop!
And it was the fucking funniest thing.
Stop! No!
Well, whoever it was, go fuck themselves. Honestly. I cannot accept
think I'm
that somebody
dying.
actually did that. That is
Just the
absolutely
idea alone.
horrifying.
Just the idea alone of just Batman and Superman fucking each other.
No!
It's just hilarious to me.
Oh my
This podcast
God.
has turned out worse than the last one, to be honest.
Yeah, this is cursed.
The only way I can make it worse is if I said the N-word.
No! Oh!
What next?
Stop.
What
No!
Mrs. Obama, get down!
Mrs. Obama, get down!
Or what's the Sonic's character? It's like it's like an alternative version of Eggman. It's called
Mr.
Eggman Nega or
Scratch.
something like that.
No. Stop.
No, seriously, that is his name, Eggman Nega or something like that.
No, it's Dr.
And-
Robotnik, and you can't change my mind about that.
No, it's funny because like my grandmother pronounces, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, no! No!
I know where
Stop.
you're going with this. I know where you're going with this.
My grandmother pronounces it Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I have no desire to tell her she's wrong.
No!
They do.
Stop
It's no matter how you try and say it will just always come to your mind, won't it? It's just
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Oh shit, he said the N word. Oh shit. Anyway,
No.
So, yeah, but again, back to it. It's just, well, actually, but yeah, it's just a case of like, I'm trying to figure out a way to say it properly, but it's just a case of like, games are built around gameplay. They're just like, like, that's what it is, like, a game without gameplay isn't a video game. A game without a story can still be a video game.
I mean, I guess you can kind of integrate the story with the gameplay, like what Alan Wake did.
Yeah, you could do that, and also Max Payne did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I just feel like it's kind of just disrespectful to just kind of make because it's just like apparently the only way nowadays you can tell a story in a game is to just fill the whole thing with cutscenes, and it's just like, what about all the games that were able to do that without shoving cutscenes in your face? Like Alan Wake, Max Payne 2, Mass Effect, Bioshock, Halo 2, all these other games, they were able to do it without, constantly bogging down the gameplay. Why can't newer games do it?
And let's not forget expanded material as well. Like Doom had books.
Yeah.
So, like, the games didn't have to have a story, or the Doom games didn't have to have a story. But if you wanted to know some of the backstory of what was going on, you could get the books.
I like how back when they were making Halo 3, if you're watching, like, one of the...
I know.
When you watch the Vidocs, like the thing they kept asking themselves when they were making the cutscenes was what's stopping the player from skipping the cutscene. And so when they were developing games back then, they had to make the story as captivating as possible to stop the player from skipping the cutscene. Nowadays, the way you solve that issue is you just make the cutscenes unskippable. You don't have to give it.
And also marketing as well. Because do you guys remember the one with like they got in actors to play army veterans? Have you seen that one?
Which was this for?
Halo 3.
Oh yeah.
Do you? I thought the idea was like really touching. It kind of spoils what happened in the actual story because
it doesn't.
Humanity isn't. Yeah, it does because it just shows you that humanity doesn't die.
Okay. Your point is?
But it spoiled it
because it didn't.
It did because they're still alive.
Yeah, didn't spoil
People
it.
are still alive.
But it didn't spoil it.
No, but it kind of took away the tension. My point.
Not really.
Okay, whatever.
Master, we didn't know what was going to happen to Master Chief.
No, but we didn't know what was going to happen to humanity either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ha! Just use your own logic against you. Ha! Smackdown, baby.
By having a bunch of trailers that show humanity talking about the war between the Covenant, it shows you that humanity survives the war. That is my point. The trailers spoiled the fact that humanity survived the war.
Yeah.
Well, I
when
don't
every other planet was destroyed.
Yeah.
That's my point. It basically spoiled everything that happened in terms of who lives, who dies. Obviously, in this trailer, it shows you humanity survived because they are on Earth. But another thing I really liked about it was another thing I was going to explain was the fact that it was so well acted. It kind of gave you that sort of feeling of like, no, I know what I'm fighting for.
Oh, Master Chief was in the back of a flipped over warthog. I needed mouth to mass CPR
dude, shut up.
away, and he gave it to me.
Give me the breath of life, Marine.
No, but like I like that because it gives the overall story, an emotional weight. Seeing these veterans. Well, no, it gives it more. It gives it more. you know, the fact that it's
Honestly, what's
kind
your
of
point
implied-
here?
No, you just there is no point. I'm just saying that like
Then why are you
Oh,
saying all this
fuck.
shit?
I would jump into this, but I'm
You
just
can.
sitting back. I'm just sitting back.
Right. My point is with them showing like these veterans and implying that hey, look, some of the Marines that you see in the game could be one of these men. It gives you that feeling of no, I know what I'm fighting for. You know, I'm fighting for these men. I'm fighting for the survival of humanity. So that makes the story a lot more interesting and engaging.
You
because
said that
of
like
that.
5 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, that's my point. That is my general point.
Why have you gone on about it?
Because you were saying that you were coming up with all these different things that just made me lose track of everything that I said.
Because what you were saying, you already said it, and then you were saying some shit that didn't make any fucking sense, and then you could put that, and he's come down, and said that, and then you can fanta.
I didn't know we had the baby in the podcast.
Right, listen here.
God.
Listen here, I'll be the boss baby now. I'm gonna call the boss baby. Yeah!
At 3 a.m. Oh god. Oh fuck.
Call him
I'll
Momo
fucking
at 3
kick you
a.m.
The moment you came out of your mother's womb.
A baby has been deeper inside its mother's pussy than the father will ever be.
Oh jeez.
Lovely.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Beautiful analogy.
So moving on. But yeah,
Perfect.
basically, my point is, well, I think Henry might have Henry hasn't said much about it. Henry, what do you think? Don't see how
Henry, man.
About what specifically?
the gameplay story disconnect.
Okay, so most of the things have been said, so I'm gonna kind of, but one of the best examples of gameplay versus like story, Overwatch. It has such interesting characters and lore, for me personally, but the gameplay, it's like, it's, I don't know, like I'm not,
Success?
people constantly argue where they're as of right now, they're trying to make the game better, but they just shift the meta, and I'm not going to get into that. But they have such interesting characters, and like honestly, 9 times out of 10, I used to play the game like every day, but now I just don't. I still love the game, and it's like characters and stuff, but I just don't play it as much.
Well, hey, at least the game made for some good SFM porn.
Oh Jesus! Stop.
I feel like this
beyond
episode
curse.
should just be called, I guess, Porn Revolution or something like that.
Oh my god!
Then we're gonna get demonetized instantly.
Oh my god!
Yeah, but you don't make money off this pitch because you don't have 1,000 subscribers.
Oh boy!
I do.
You're getting there.
Maybe. Who knows?
You got to 250. You're a quarter way there. Not much
Exactly.
longer.
Maybe if I say the M word a few more times, I'll get more subscribers.
Jeez. Oh my god.
I have more subscribers.
This is Obama. Get there.
Fine, I'll just do Eminem's Rap God right here, right now. Okay, 3,
Right
2.
here, right now, right here, right now.
All right. But yeah, no. Overwatch has really interesting characters and everybody's talking about and everybody's talking badly they want it, right? Like how badly they want these characters to be developed, and they just don't give it to us. Like Zenyatta has literally no lore. The only mention of his lore is that he was like kicked out of his like clan group thing, his therapy group session, and that's all we know. We don't know why, and we don't know how or any reason, but we just know it happened, and that's it.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know. They have such interesting characters, and it doesn't even matter. And they don't seem to really care about these characters anymore. The only time that they update these characters' backstory is with those animated shorts, but that's really more advertising for the game itself than anything. So, yeah, I don't know. It just sucks. Like I so badly. I think Overwatch honestly would be better as a story game. Like you could play as these characters going through these different missions, like the PvE missions. That would be. I honestly think it would be a better game that way. But that's just me personally. A fantastic example of gameplay and story being balanced is Hollow Knight. Um, there is literally like 3 cutscenes in the entire game, and the average playtime, if you want to get like a good chunk of the game done, it's like 30 to 40 hours, and there's only like 3 or 4 cutscenes.
I still have to play that game.
Yeah, and the cutscenes are skippable as well.
Yeah.
They're completely mandatory.
Half-Life 2 has 2 cutscenes.
Yeah, true. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah. Oh, and all dialogue is skippable.
Yeah.
So the game is so fucking good. Like, you absolutely need to play it. Like,
I will.
fuck. It's so good.
As soon as I get done doing the Dead Space 2 and Matrix Reloaded videos, I'll play Hollow Knight.
It's so good, but you really need to set, like, aside a lot of time for it. It's just one of those games that you can't get into the game until you, like, really put a lot of time and effort into it.
I'm good at doing that.
Yeah, it took me, I think,
I played
50
through
hours.
Life is Strange, and I was able to deal with that shit. I'll deal with Hollow Knight. And
It's a
Life is
difficult
Strange
game,
10 hours
just heads
long.
up. Jeez. Just a heads up, Hollow Knight is really difficult. Like, it'll kick your ass.
I like difficult games.
Like, if you watch my streams on that game,
I
first
have
of all,
some.
they're terrible. Awesome. Second of all, 90% of my streams just end in...
Fake credits.
Yeah, fixed credits. It's,
Directed by Henry Badger. Dun, 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 dun.
oh jeez, it's a really good game. The story is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Gameplay and story is perfectly balanced, in my opinion, for that game. It could not be better. A lot of the lore is not in your face. Like, you get the general story by just playing the game, but you'll learn new things about characters and events if you kind of dig deeper. A lot of it's up for interpretation, so you'll spend a lot of time outside of the game, just kind of interpreting lines of dialogue and stuff. So there's a lot of fun with that. I think it's just I literally, like, I wouldn't say it's a perfect game, but if there ever is one, it's definitely on that list of like games that are nearly perfect. But
Yeah.
I'll stop ranting.
All right, so I guess the final thing we could talk about, because this podcast has been on for nearly an hour now, is Avengers Endgame and Captain Marvel and some of the controversy.
Oh, there's a controversy?
Yes.
Fuck you
What
now.
happened? What
Okay,
happened?
so-
Oh! I thought you said Captain America. I thought you
Captain
said
America.
I was like, what did he do? But no, I
All
Captain.
right, so okay, so
I've heard about that.
Unless you've been living under a rock for like the past couple millennia, you should have heard about the fact that there's been a lot of controversy going around about Captain Marvel. Do you want to discuss it?
Politics doesn't matter. The film matters.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know why they try and shove all these unnecessary politics into the film.
Oh, there's politics in the film. I thought we were just talking about politics outside the film. I haven't seen the film.
Neither have I.
Honestly, I don't really. I might go and see it with like
I'm not
a
gonna go see it.
friend in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. I don't know, but I'm personally not going to go out of my way to go see it.
Same.
Not because.
Wait a
not
minute,
because of,
Mr.
like-
Lolo, did you just say that you didn't want to go see it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're so sexist. Oh my
All right, we'll get to that in a
god.
second. We'll get to that.
Yeah, honestly,
Sorry, Badger, go on.
I pass on a good chunk of Marvel films until they're like on Netflix.
The good
or
thing about
something.
Endgame is
I-
that after Endgame, I don't have to watch any more Marvel films. Everything I love is done.
Yeah, it's like I didn't see Doctor Strange until like 2 years after it came out. Like, I don't know. Most Marvel films I don't go to see in theaters. The only ones that I saw in theaters were like Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously, and Avengers: Infinity War, and a few others. And that's pretty much it. I don't really care for them too much. If like I'm not gonna go out of my way to go pay money to see it in theaters when I could just wait like 6 months to a year to just see it on Netflix for dirt cheap for something that I'm already paying for anyway. So I am definitely seeing Endgame in theaters. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The main reason I haven't seen Captain Marvel is just because it's a prequel. The trailer didn't really grab me. I just feel like I don't need to see it to understand Endgame. Like, it's a prequel, it's probably gonna build up a bit. I would not be surprised if there's some connections to Endgame. Because I know she's in Endgame. Captain Marvel's in Endgame.
And people complain about that too. We'll get to that.
I would like, that's the only reason I would go and see it. Other than that, I might just wait until it's on Netflix, because I don't want to spend like $12 to go see it, and I don't know. I can just wait for it, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, if it was a like, if it took place after the events of Infinity War, then yeah, I'd be more inclined to go see it, because it's a continuation of a story that I'm eager and to see complete. So, yeah. I think the whole politics thing about it, the whole thing, I think it's just really fucking stupid.
Me too.
I think it's stupid. I think people.
But at the same time, if you think about it, it kind of gives people an incentive to see it.
Not really.
You know.
We'll get into it in a second, but not really. I'll explain why.
My personal thing on just like diversity in everything, I think it's great. This might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I think we shouldn't be like surprised when there's a female lead or a
we should, because there's been like hundreds of female characters in action films over the years. This is
not
anything new.
Not because it's because we shouldn't care. We should care, but we shouldn't act like it's something that's like out of the ordinary, because it's something that we should accept. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, isn't that crazy that this is a female lead? Well, yeah, no, it's great, but I don't think we should make too much of a big deal out of it, because it should be something that's normal in our society. We shouldn't. Like, people don't freak out when every single time there's a male lead in a film. We shouldn't freak out when there's a female lead. Like, it should just be an accepted, given thing. Same thing for, different LGBTQ people and stuff like that. Like, it should just be like, okay, that's fantastic. That's great to hear. This should be accepted by now. This should be a normal thing. Like, of course, it's great to celebrate it. Of course,
but it's like a minor thing to celebrate, though. She's not even she's not even the first female character in like a Marvel film. Like, that goes to like Red Sonja from 1985.
Yeah,
so it's not even the first female Marvel film.
I feel like people might be taking what I'm saying, but basically what I mean is, it's when there's diversity, but it should be normalized. Like, we shouldn't be like, oh my goodness, this person is African American. Wow, that's good. Everybody should have an equal chance at being an actor, having the same job. Like, everybody should have the same equal chance of getting this.
Well, I mean, like, look at Donald Glover. Like, he was in Solo. He was in The Martian, only for a little bit, but he was there.
Yeah,
he was a character who had development. Only a little had development. So there you go. The one thing that pisses me off with this whole Marvel thing is everyone's acting like she's the first, strong female character.
Scarlet Witch,
Princess fucking Leia.
Ripley from Alien.
Yeah, there's
Ripley from Alien.
Yeah, what else? The Blood Rain movies.
That's another thing. I kind of wonder.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is more about the Wasp than Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder what would happen. By the way. Oh boy, Ant-Man and the Wasp was really fucking good. I really liked it. People said it was.
Me too.
It's like what.
By the way, the audio was kind of fading in and out.
Oh, my audio?
No, just my audio, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyway, I think now we can get into the politics part of it.
Oh boy.
So, it's been getting a lot of controversy because of a lot of stupid stuff the actress who plays Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, has said.
Oh no, what has happened?
Okay, so she was at like she was at like the women's film festival.
All right.
And the stuff she says is quite stupid. She says she's talking about like the Vistian film, whatever, and she's talking about the movie A Wrinkle in Time, which is like I don't even know what that movie is, but whatever.
It's got an all. I think it's all female cast. Well, into the main characters.
Right.
The main characters.
But apparently, well, what she said, it's even on video, if you want to watch it, there's a whole thing on YouTube. She said, I don't need a 40-year-old white male to tell me what didn't work for him in A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. Fuck you, Brie Larson. Fuck off, honestly. Since when did race and gender matter when criticizing a film?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. On my moral compass is very mixed on that, but
Yeah,
generally,
same.
I don't think you should gatekeep for anything.
Yeah.
I think when you release a movie to the public, you should expect it to be viewed by multiple different communities.
Yeah.
And I think this is a difficult topic for me, but I would say, like, not necessarily in this situation, but if a white male was to judge a film and you passed it off as the fact that they are, like, you ignored the criticism because they are white and because they are male, I think that's a bit of a yikes.
Yeah.
But of course, each movie, each situation, it varies. You can't just generalize an issue like this. But I feel like if I wrote off a criticism, like if somebody came onto my YouTube channel and said, "Hey, that video is really shit," here, and if I said, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to your criticism because you're this group or this age
You're
or
a white
this
male.
yeah, if you were this part of this community or this gender or this race or this age or this of this community or mindset or anything, I that's terrible. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should gatekeep. Of course, that it changes from situation to situation. If you know are making content specifically made for a community, like, I don't know, let's say you're a gamer and you make a gaming montage and some 90-year-old gentleman comes on that's never played a video game in his life and says, "Oh, video games are terrible, this is shit because it's a video game," you might want to ignore it because he's never played a video game. And he's ignorant. But I don't think we should write off that either. I think that's a great opportunity to educate that person on that thing. But like, it's such a mixed bag for me.
It's a mixed bag. It's such a mixed bag.
It's a case by case basis. I think each situation should be handled differently, and I think different people would. There is no objective right answer to a lot of these things. It's very difficult to be honest. I don't think Captain Marvel is made just for female audience.
Well, the
think.
director of it said that it was a feminist film.
Well, if that's the case, a director's the director. So if they say who it's for, then I suppose you can't really argue.
It would
with that.
it would piss a few people off. I mean,
Like,
if it has a good feminist message,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
I get then
Well, it's
that's
kind of hard
fine.
to have a good feminist message in the modern day.
I
Well,
think I think if you're making
wasn't feminism like years ago. It wasn't like in the 50s or whatever. It wasn't like bad at all.
Yeah, it was good. It
Well,
was necessary back then.
Yeah.
It's a completely
I
different
think-
thing nowadays, but that's a completely different subject.
I think the whole feminist thing, I think I for one genuinely know some actually good feminists that fight for the actual thing that feminism stands for.
Patrick Stewart
But
is one of
nowadays it's just so fucked. Like it's there. When I mean it's so fucked, I mean there are people that are ruining it for everyone, and then that is generally the the minority that gets the most attention because it is so loud and unique and obnoxious.
Yeah.
So a lot of people nowadays are growing up and seeing, they look into this whole feminist thing, or any group for that matter, and they just see the worst part of it.
It's like a
that
virus.
is usually, well, yeah, it's because the worst part is usually what most people talk about, because nobody wants to talk about the normal parts of a community, because like those YouTubers that talk about controversial stuff, they only talk about controversial stuff. They're not going to go, oh, hey, look at this nice thing somebody did. No, because it doesn't generate clicks. So generally the worst part of a community is the one that gets shared the most. Like, kind of off topic, but I know all kinds of different people from all kinds of different communities, feminism, LGBTQ communities, furries, all that. Like, they are some of the nicest people that I've ever met, and they genuinely fight for great things. But they get generalized with these really terrible and nasty people, because that's just what sometimes floats around. Like, it sucks. I'm kind of going off topic here, but yeah, I don't know. I think bad apples spoil the bunch, generally. If one person starts shouting, people are going to listen to the one who's shouting the most and start generalizing. I think it's important, especially now with the internet, that if you start hearing something negative, I think it's important that you see for yourself. You don't just watch a video or read it where someone says this group or this person is terrible. I think generally get to know these people, and I think you'll meet some pretty fantastic people. Like, when I was really young, quite young, probably, like, I don't know, many years ago, I wasn't as open-minded as I was to communities like furries and stuff, and I understand that totally. But many of my closest friends, both online and offline, have mentioned that they are furries, and they are literally the most they're literally the most creative and nice people that I have ever met, and I can't hate them for what they are. And now I'm totally fine with that community and everything. But when I was younger, I used to be a little bit more closed-minded. It's a complicated situation, definitely.
Yeah,
it's a really difficult situation. But sorry. My point is on that kind of whole thing. Try not to generalize. It's important not to generalize. If you see one person being a dickhead, chances are that whole community isn't like that. There's definitely bad apples for every community, and I think it's important just to see for yourself before you start generalizing.
How am I supposed? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Gatekeeping is... Sorry, I'm so sorry. Gatekeeping is just terrible in general. Like, if you do... If Captain Marvel is made to be generally aimed at female audiences and feminist audiences, then that's what it is. That simple.
Doesn't mean other people can't criticize it.
That doesn't mean other people can't criticize it, but I think that is something you should keep in mind. If you are not, I think here's something a little. If somebody makes a video, about their workplace, let's say I talk about my job, right? I am a grocery store clerk, right? So if I talk about my job as a grocery store clerk and say, oh, this video is for grocery store clerks only because customers may not understand because they haven't worked there, they haven't been there, and some customers criticize my video because of reasons, and like the video that let's say like I said, let's say I'm talking about my workplace, and I say this video is for this group specifically because that's just how I wanted to make my video. I think it's important that everybody is allowed to watch it. But I think those people that are criticizing it should keep in mind that the director or the content creator made the video for a specific community. If they state that it's for a specific community, I think you should keep that in the back of your head. This is and I'm because my opinion generally shifts quite a lot, but yeah, I think it's important to criticize, and I think it's important to judge, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Yep.
But I think you should keep in mind who the content is made for. Yeah. Like if I go to watch a kid's film and judge it and say it's got a terrible plot, well, of course it's not going to have a great plot because it's made for children.
Star Wars had a great plot though. That's made for children.
Well, yeah, you know what
that's a crazy thing to think about. Like, the Star Wars was really made for kids, but yeah, it has like some of these really dark
moments. It was made for people of all ages.
Yeah,
but I thought you just said Star Wars was made for kids. Sorry,
no, I just said Star Wars had a great plot, and you know that.
But yeah, I think the best. Yeah, I think the best sort of comparison is if you're watching a kid's film and you're a grown-ass man that hates kids' films and you're judging it and criticizing it, you may have a bias because of that. So it's something important to keep that in mind, that movie may not necessarily be made specifically for you. But Captain Marvel's a bit more general. It's Marvel. It's a huge multi-billion-dollar company. And it's... It's had a pretty good reputation. Yeah. For the most part. I think if I was in Brie Larson's position, what I would say is everybody can watch it. I would just say this is a great film. It's great. I'm happy to be in this position. It's an honor to be part of this Marvel Studios. It's great to be, a superhero. And I think instead of pushing negativity, like saying, "Oh, this isn't made for white males," just focus on the positive. Just focus on the positive. Push a great idea that anybody can be a superhero. Not just females, not just males. Anybody can be a superhero. Just something like that.
Exactly as Stan Lee put it.
Yes.
Yeah. Stan Lee. There you go. Anybody can be a superhero.
Yeah.
Instead of Sorry, you go. I'll stop.
Although another thing she said,
sorry,
she complained about the fact that in 2017, apparently most of the movies reviewed that year, 76% of the reviewers who reviewed those films were white males, and it's just well, is that a problem? The majority, the majority of America is white, so the majority of people who take the job are going to be white.
Yeah, it's. I see both sides of the story.
If she said there's too many black people who criticize films, could you imagine the kind of backlash she would get?
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of saying.
Yeah, I understand it.
If my content, if anybody was reviewed by a female African American critique, and the director said, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to her because she is of that gender, that race," people would be up in arms.
Yeah,
people would be going crazy.
No one cares. Yeah, it's okay to be racist as long as it's against white men.
Yeah, it's important to include all. I think the best way to receive feedback and criticism is get criticism from literally everybody. That's what I try to do. Whenever I ask for criticism, I'm like, I don't care where you come from, what you believe in. I want to hear what you guys think, and I'll take that all into account. Yeah. So, and the whole thing with accepting criticism is some of it you can ignore. That's kind of the whole thing. It is your choice to listen to or ignore what you want. But I always try to listen to everybody, even people that I might, because you might learn something. Yeah.
Do you mind if I put my thoughts into this?
Go ahead.
So, like you said, it's a mixed bag. It's really hard for me to explain because obviously you guys know that I have trouble understanding different terminologies. Mainly because of my all that sort of business. I think what really matters at the end of the day is really the acting and the film,
Yep.
and the film as a whole.
The quality of
I
the
mean,
film itself.
The film
Yeah.
itself
I've
is
seen-
pretty boring, to be honest. I'm not going to go see it.
I mean, I've seen interviews with Brie Larson, and she seems like a nice person. She looks and sounds like a really nice person.
Yeah.
To work with. And I'm going to give one of her examples. I watched this film literally the other day. Have you ever heard of the film Room?
The Room, yeah, with Tommy Wiseau. Jeez, that was
No,
a
not that fucking film.
I
Have you
love that film though.
have any of you heard that film? though? Room. It's just called Room.
I've heard of
The
it.
Room?
Oh, no, just fucking Room. That's it. Just the fucking Room.
I feel like I have,
Tommy
but-
Wiseau. Brie
Okay,
Larson was not in Tommy
oh.
in that movie.
All right, so the plot of this movie that she was in is that she played a character who's been in captivity for like 7 years, right? And during those 7 years, she gives birth to a child who has never seen the outside world because they've been stuck in this one specific room.
So when did the movie come out?
2015, independent film. I think it was made by a woman as well. I think it was directed by a woman.
American
Really
Psycho was
good.
directed by a woman. This is nothing new.
Well, I didn't know that. I'm just saying, as I'm talking about this film, I'm not talking about others.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That
Exactly.
film, Room, is really fucking good. Her acting in it is really good. The character that she portrays she acted fucking really good in it. So I guess my thoughts on this whole thing is if she acts, if her performance is really good in Captain Marvel, then good. Fine, perfect.
Yeah.
I have a lot of. It's like with Ghostbusters, you have Melissa McCarthy, you have Kristen Wiig, all that business. Those two. I've never really seen the works of the other two actresses that were in it, but because those two were in the movie, I thought, okay, this could be good. When I saw the movie, even though it had some really good actors in it, it wasn't a good film because the writing was complete shit. It had nothing to, and that was not their fault. It was the script. So my views on this whole thing is ignore the politics. Ignore the politics outside of the movie. Maybe even inside maybe the movie a little bit. I don't know. And just go and see the film. I don't want to go to see the film because I saw the trailers. They did not impress me. I got a Green Lantern vibe out of it,
Yeah.
which is not good at all.
But at least
So I don't.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, well, there's always that. So I won't go and see it. However, my little sister wants to go and see it, right? But she likes it. But it's not because there is a woman in it. It's because she likes these MCU films. She loves these films. She loves Avengers. She loves Guardians. I shared the poster for Endgame on my Facebook, and my sister literally put, "Why is there no Groot? There's still no Groot."
Aw.
He died.
She knew that, but she likes these films, but she isn't going to see this film because it has a woman. She wants to go and see it because it's the next lineup in the Marvel movie. My dad wants to go and see it not because it's got a female lead, because it's the next chapter in the MCU. So if there's politics surrounding a movie, ignore it. Go and watch the film and judge it by yourself.
The main thing I hate is just I hate being told what to think, because apparently, if I go watch the movie and I like it, apparently, I'm a complete SJW feminist, but if I don't want to go watch the movie, and if I didn't like the movie, apparently I just hate women, I'm a huge misogynist. I hate being told what to think.
Just ignore it. That's just simply...
I know, but I hate being told what to think. That's my point.
I know you... Well, yeah, you hate it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, you hate it, but, you can... I guess the only way you can't hate it if you just ignore it outright.
I know,
just
but I hate how much it's
brush
become
it
a
off.
regular thing in, with
I
film
know.
criticism.
Well, I don't. I just ignore it at all.
Exactly,
I
that's
just
the thing.
completely-
It's the same thing with me.
I know. I'm just saying that I ignore it to the point where I just think that whole thing was being told what to do just doesn't exist to me.
In fact, actually, I just want to bring this up right now because the Sudden Stop, which is a Remedy fan site about Remedy's games, the creator of the site, she actually recently did like an article like talking about it, and honestly, it's a great article because it's basically just like it doesn't like try and like shove politics into it or like try and shove like an agenda into it. It literally just talks about like some of her favorite female role models in like films and TV growing up.
Mm.
That's literally it. And congratulations, Son Stop, because just like when you have all like these stupid journalists making all these stupid articles about like we need more black people in films, we need more female. It's just like it's just like they're complaining there's they're saying there's an issue with the way that having white males as like main protagonists. It's just like here's an article for you that just says, hey, having female characters is nice. It doesn't like try and like hate on anybody. It's just a nice article about, hey, here's some of my favorite female role models in films and TV growing up. That's literally it.
It's like with
go read it. I'll link it actually in the description.
It's like with with me and Princess Leia. I don't like Princess Leia because she's a she's a female character. I like her character.
She got good tits,
Shut up.
No. Stop.
I like Princess Leia as a character because of what she's fighting for. She is fighting for the freedom of the galaxy and the people within the galaxy. Which again,
yeah.
Oh jeez. No, with Princess Leia, I would not
get what
care.
I mean? Is that, freedom and believing in hope. That's important. That is very important.
Although it's
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter what she looks like or who she is or what gender or anything.
She could be a male and it'd be the same story.
Yeah, it could be Prince Leia, and it would still be just as a good of character. Like I would have liked them all the same.
Transgender in Star Wars. Also, there's a few people who have made this wild, crazy theory online that The Matrix is secretly a transgender movie.
Oh, fucking just ignore it. It's
because I've read into it, and it's because like he leaves one life in the Matrix and goes into the real world, and it's a completely different life. I've read it; it's complete shit.
Yeah, it's things like that. But going to what you said, Badger, about certain things are a certain demographic to people and all that sort of business. That obviously there's the Sonic movie coming out this year and all that sort of business. And I know.
You thought it was a troll.
Say, I know that as well.
You were wrong.
The thing is, right? I said to people is that despite the first impressions being quite terrible, we are getting a Sonic movie put on the big screen, regardless of what's happening as of right now. We are actually getting a Sonic movie on the big screen with Sonic the Hedgehog as the main character. Do you know how long I've been waiting for something like this? Do you know how long? I've been waiting for something like this ever since I was 4 years old. Ever since I started getting into the Sonic the Hedgehog, I've been waiting for this movie for fucking years.
For over like 15 or so years?
Pretty much, yeah. Because I've always wanted to see a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Same with Halo. I've always wanted to see a Halo movie.
I don't think Halo would work as a movie, to be honest.
No, probably wouldn't. But because Sonic is getting a movie, I'm excited. Now, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, but it's for kids." We shouldn't criticize it. We should
because the movie's rated U or PG does not mean it's for kids. It basically
exactly just because it's rated not for your target demographic doesn't mean.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, Baggy. This is something I really fucking hate about people, alright? They assume because a movie is rated PG or U or whatever that it's a film for kids. Not really. It's a film for people of any age.
Toy Story.
It's like
that's what I was mentioning.
Spider-Verse. It's just like, just because it's a PG movie doesn't mean it's for kids.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, sort of. But it's like if a movie is made for, then that should be kept in mind. However, anybody can still watch it, and you shouldn't gatekeep as to who can watch it and who can't.
Exactly.
That's my moral compass on that. It's like anybody can watch it. Anybody should be allowed to watch it. However, it should be kept in mind which audience the film is made for. Like Toy Story is a great case because it's one of the fucking best animated films ever, period. And it was originally kind of made as like a family movie, but adults watch it. It's a great film.
Actually, originally Toy Story was going to be an R-rated movie.
Is this
fact.
actually true?
Same as the Scooby Doo live action movies. They were going to have all sorts of weird shit in there, but they just cut it back completely. But sorry, Badger. Sorry. My example, like with the whole thing, like, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever. Look at films like Zootopia. I know that movie is a big fucking meme, but look at the messages that film portrays. It's really a movie about prejudice, racism.
Yeah.
I don't have
And
an issue of politics being an art as long as it fits into the art itself.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing, when I think ever since like Actman made that video on like politics.
It's like people saying like, oh, like you're saying politics can't be in games, but that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that
exactly.
He's tired of politics being shoved into games where it doesn't fit. There's plenty of games with politics that work in it. BioShock is a good example.
Yeah. As long as it makes sense for it to exist, and as long as it adds to the actual game itself, then absolutely, like, put it in the game.
Bang on him.
Yeah, okay. For instance, if you just, if you suddenly change Master Chief's gender for simply because, then that's
Make
dumb.
him a drag
But if
queen.
it's like,
the one thing I can say with like the politics in it's not a good game, but in terms of like the concepts, have you guys ever heard of the game's Homefront?
Yes.
So you know the concept where North Korea completely invades pretty much the entirety of the world, and stuff like that is kind of like shit, So if any like army or whatever, this is kind of what would happen.
But at the same time, that game isn't trying to shove an agenda.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Like the politics, it's like the same with BioShock. It's just like BioShock has the whole thing about objectivism. Right? It isn't trying to shove an agenda. It isn't trying to like force these politics into your face, trying to get you to think a certain way. Literally, the politics serve as a backstory as to how the city of Rapture fell. That's it.
Look at BioShock Infinite as well. Isn't a part of that story kind of about racism with the Vox and all that sort of business?
Yes, indeed.
Like you end up helping the Vox, and you think they're good people at first, but then you realize they're not.
Yeah.
And you kind of get that whole. So like when it kind of plays with your head, because the first time you enter Colombia, you think the Vox is the bad guy, right? And so you think the citizens of Colombia are bad people. But when you meet the Vox, you think, no, the Vox are the good people. And it's the other way around. But then it turns out the Vox is bad, but so is Colombia. But again, some parts of Colombia isn't.
I have a lot to say about BioShock Infinite's story.
It's confusing, yes, like you told me. But my point is that really, I guess, no matter what color or race you are, anyone can be evil. Everyone can be evil,
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's some games that do it well. There's other games that do it poorly. Wolfenstein: New Colossus, hint, hint. Politics in that game, fucking awful. But I don't know. I think like Henry said it best. It's just like if it fits and it's a part of it naturally, then it's good to have it. But I'm like I'm tired of people like trying to think whenever they like play a video game or watch a movie, they're trying to think, how can I relate this to politics? It's just like this isn't about that.
You can kind of like say that Halo has, I wouldn't say like politics, but it deals in like, it kind of goes into
the Covenant have politics, but at the same time it's like once again not trying to shove an agenda. It just is a backstory for the Covenant.
I mean, like it goes into deep themes about soldier PTSD and child soldiers. The Spartans are literally child soldiers. They were taken away. They were augmented on. Their minds were kind of
apart
changed.
From the Spartans 4 is get your Halo lore right, you fucking noob.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Fuck off, nerd. It's stuff like that, and I think having messages or themes like that in your games to the point where but as long as it doesn't interfere with the actual overall story, then I'm okay with it. I think having things like that in there is important because that shit exists in our real world.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, there was that one Kotaku article, which I know Kotaku's a piece of shit. We all know that. They were like complaining about the fact that like there's only like 2 black females in like Apex Legends, and it's just like, Stop trying to look at everything through race and gender politics. Like, stop it. Because at that point,
Doesn't matter.
You've completely misunderstood what the point of entertainment is.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm tired. Anyway, do you want to move on from that subject now? Because I'm tired
Yes.
talking about it. Alright, so, final
See, it does
subject.
get boring. It does get boring.
Exactly, I hate politics. I don't want to talk about politics. This is why I hate politics being shoved into art where it doesn't fit. I hate politics. Anyway, so what's...
Final question is about girlfriends. Fuck no. No, I'm joking.
Let's do it!
Final question about girlfriends. I don't have any. I had one like 5 months ago. I don't anymore.
Oof. Let's get an oof in the chat. What's the question specifically about?
Oh, I didn't
Like-
even have a question, but I guess we'll joke now, right?
I thought that was like an actual Twitter question.
Nah, alright. So, if there's any more topics, let me just try and think of one. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the rating system for Peggy and video games.
Oh jeez, isn't it
fuck's
like
sake.
Peggy 12, 13, 14, 17?
We're going
Peggy-
to be here for another fucking hour.
Alright, I'll
And
sum
I
this
got
up.
dinner to eat.
Right, okay, so I'm just going to talk about it very quickly, alright? So, in the UK, we have the PEGI system, whereas in the United States, they have the ESRB. And now in the UK, you have, like, 5 ratings, I guess. You have PEGI 3, PEGI 7, PEGI 12, PEGI 16, PEGI 18, alright? Thing is with PEGI is that they give... Like, they're very inconsistent with how they rate things, and they give games the most absurd ratings to the point where their rating system means absolutely nothing anymore. Because it's just like, gamers will get rated PEGI 18 for, like, the smallest things, and it's just like, for example, I'll use an example. The BBFC, the British Film Board of Classification, whatever it's called, they used to do video games, they still do movies, but they used to be actually much more fair than the PEGI system we have now. When the Mass Effect first came out, they gave it a rating of 12, and then PEGI comes along and says, no, it's PEGI 18. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How does it go
I
from
think
12 to 18? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, as flawed as ESRB is as well, it's a lot better than Peggy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more fair and a lot more lenient as well. I still think games like Halo 2 shouldn't really get the ESRB rating of M for mature because that's apparently 17 and up. I don't think games...
they have a shit ton of blood in them.
I suppose.
And they do
yeah,
have,
that's
and they
true.
do have, and they do have
The flood and
dismemberment
stuff.
on the flood. So
Yeah, okay,
it-
that's
you
true.
got to look at like the concepts as well, like
That
what
is
it's
true, yeah.
portraying.
Well, apparently
Like
Halo
the
Combat
fl-
Evolved would be rated PG-13 if it was a movie. So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but like if you just look at the flood as a whole, that shit
Yeah.
would not work in a PG or 12 rated or even a 15 rated
That's-
product.
I
Well,
suppose.
it's allowed
yeah.
in Halo, which is
the
rated 15.
graphics in like Halo 1 don't really do the concept of the flood justice in the sense that like
Yeah.
how violent it really is.
It's
but
fucking
yeah,
Halo
I
3.
suppose.
It's
Yeah.
fucking Halo 3 that
Yeah, Halo
knocks it out
3 is
apart.
definitely Halo 3 is
Yeah.
where like get like infected
Well,
in that
according
game.
to IMDb, Halo Combat Evolved would be rated PG-13 if it was a movie.
well, that's fucking
Halo
That's
2
fine.
and Halo
Don't
2
give
and
a
3 would be
shit.
rated R, though.
Oh.
All the other games
Yeah.
would be rated PG-13.
Well, Halo 3 I can understand that because again, the flood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
I
the
don't
thing-
want to like
games like
base
Reach,
like, the
though,
whole
Well, actually, come to think of it, games like Reach have like the assassination and stuff. So, yeah, no,
yeah.
that's pretty. Yeah,
Okay, but getting back to Peggy, alright? So yeah, it's just like Mass Effect, the BBFC, they are very fair with how they rate games, alright? It's just like, a game will only get rated something if it deserves it, alright? So it's just like Mass Effect gets rated 12, alright, fair enough. And then Peggy gives it Peggy 18. It's the same game, yet, it goes up from 12 to 18. How?
it's definitely a bit strange.
And also,
Oh,
they're
dude,
very...
dude. Sorry.
And also, there's just some games that just flat out don't deserve the ratings. Spider-Man PS4 gets rated Peggy 16 in the UK. What the fuck? How?
I think it's because there's a little bit of blood.
Yeah, but so did other games. There's plenty of other games that have blood. They get rated Peggy 12.
Doesn't one of the DLCs for Spider-Man PS4 thing like trying to? I think it like a character mentions he might accidentally have a son or something. Like he's freaking out about.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Black
something
Cat,
like that.
She says to my son. Turns out it's a big lie though.
Oh,
Spoilers.
okay. Yeah. Still, though,
look
the
at,
subject matter and the concept of
Yeah,
that.
subject.
But still, how does it get
I
rated
mean-
Peggy 16 in the United States? Gets
Well-
rated T for teen. How the
Well,
fuck
look
does
at
that work?
look at what's her name? Is it Black Cat?
Yeah,
Her tits are practically like almost out.
yeah. Your point is.
Well, there you go.
Your point is.
It's 16.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
How?
Seriously, if that shit was in a PG film, it probably wouldn't work. There's this whole weird thing with like, oh, there's only certain amounts of nudity that you can show,
Yeah,
or whatever, in the ratings.
Yeah, if
It's
Spider-Man
really
PS4
hard.
was a movie, it'd be rated 12. So, yeah, it's a.
Oh
like,
yeah, it would. It would.
Yeah, but it's just a case like if why can't it be rated Peggy 12 then?
I have no idea because we're not in
Exactly.
charge.
Exactly. This is the thing with Peggy. It's just like if this shit's allowed in a 12 rated film, why isn't it allowed in a video game?
Well, look, right, I'm gonna two perfect fucking examples. Sonic 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog. Both games are rated 12.
Yep.
Why?
Because
They don't
are
have-
a bit more violent.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean they could easily be pumped up to a 7. A 7 would be fine.
7 is down from 12, not up.
Yeah, but right. The thing is, you don't let me explain. Right? Or I try to
don't.
explain.
To be
you
honest,
confuse
I
me.
don't.
Right. My point is that Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06 shouldn't be rated 12 because I guess Shadow would be okay if it was rated 12 because it had guns in it. But fucking Sonic 06, hell nah. That should be like fucking 7 or 3+.
Okay, one thing.
Unless they slapped the 12 on it because there's a bestiality moment.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, Shadow the Hedgehog is edgy, so yeah. But I
Well,
agree,
yeah,
I just
with
think-
Shadow the Hedgehog, I can understand because it does imply that a kid gets shot and dies.
Well, you see that in V for Vendetta.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, fuck you then. All right, but yeah, I understand what you're saying, Peggy. But it's just a case of, like, they're so inconsistent. Like, Battlefield 1 gets rated Peggy 18, Battlefield 5 gets rated Peggy 16. What?
I think it's because different people handle it. That's pretty much all it's
Right.
chalked up to.
I mean,
Here's
why the
another
fuck
thing,
is
here's another example.
Why the fuck is Battlefield 5 rated 16? Why the fuck is that the case? It's World War II. People
Yes,
are gonna fucking
It's
die.
whatever.
Right.
Right.
I guess with Battlefield 1 there is a moment where a guy is getting his fucking face pummeled in by a rock. So
Yeah.
But it's just like, how does it go down? Like, another example of this is two Spider-Man games. There was Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions and Spider-Man Edge of Time. Both in America, they got rated both T for teen. All right, but in the UK, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions gets rated Peggy 16. Don't know why. All right, and then the sequel to it, Edge of Time, gets rated Peggy 12, despite being much darker and much more violent.
Huh.
How the
this is why I said I didn't really want to fucking talk about this because it's so confusing.
Also,
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to talk about it. That's why I'd rather go to like comical stuff like girlfriends, because it's simple, it's
Yeah.
kind of funny,
Basically,
and it ain't.
to summarize, then we'll move on to another topic, I guess. Basically, to
Well, I got to
summarize-
head off soon, so
Okay, we'll just
Yeah,
do
might-
something shortly, I guess. Alright, so to summarize, Peggy systems completely fucking worthless. Games get rated absurd ratings, and they're very inconsistent. Don't trust Peggy ratings; they're full of shit.
yeah. And ratings as a whole really don't matter that much if you think about it. Because I played fucking Grand Theft Auto, when I was 4. So really, ratings as a whole really don't matter. It just depends on the parent.
Yeah. Although
That's
it's weird how it works in America, because like a kid can go and see an R-rated film as long as they have a 17-year-old to accompany them.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Unless it's about like, what if the little person asks a question like, why is how do I put it? Why is this person pummeling the shit out? Why are they like having sex with each other? It's hardcore sex.
Yeah.
Could you imagine taking a 5-year-old to 50 Shades of Grey in America?
Jeez.
Fucking hell.
No, when I want to watch Spider-Man Homecoming in the cinema, there's that one scene where it's just like the dude's on the computer, just like, oh, I'm just
Oh,
watching
I'm watching porn.
No, like
Yeah, I'm. Oh,
no. Here's the
Jeez.
thing, right? Here's the thing, right? When I was watching the movie, there was like this little girl like sitting in front of me, and she turns over to her mother and asks, "Mom, what's porn?"
Uh-oh. Oh no.
I guess right. My only guess is that the director or the writers kind of thought, "Hang on, we're going to put this little scene in it because pretty much every kid nowadays, with the internet and social media, will know what porn is."
Yeah, I know.
Well,
There you go.
yeah, with most PG films, actually a Eve in Canada,
Yeah, there
but you're allowed one F-bomb, as
what-
well
what?
as yeah, in most PG films. So technically,
about PG-13.
yeah, PG-13 movies.
You're allowed
So
three
like,
F-bombs in PG-13 movies.
oh, three. Wow, even better. So every Star Wars movie, they could have said three F-bombs. Like Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker loses his hand, and he's like, "Nah."
fuck.
You just no, because actually a lot of people say like you can only use the F-bomb once in a PG-13 movie. That actually isn't completely true.
Okay.
You can only use the F-bomb once sexually, but you can use it 3 times as long as it's not used in a sexual way. Like you just have a character saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh fuck."
This actually, I know you don't like him, but Nostalgia Critic actually made a pretty decent video on this.
Fuck off! I don't want to watch him.
Okay, that's one of the F-bombs used. Okay.
Regardless, right, my point is, yeah, with him, regardless of how your views, he actually made a pretty decent video on this
But
subject.
he's a complete shithead. I feel like if you read the booklet, when the whole controversy came out about Nostalgia Critic and Channel Awesome, it's just like if you read about the way they treated like their like co-stars and like everyone who worked on videos, it's just like I don't trust them anymore.
But
I've read the whole thing.
All right, I don't want to
Walker is
get
a
into
complete
that because
shithead.
all I heard was that it was the organizer of Channel Awesome. It had nothing
Doug
to
Walker
do with
also
that.
did some pretty shady stuff. But I don't want to get into that. We can get into that another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just ratings in general, just fucking pointless to
Pull
me.
her off that
Anyone-
topic.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Um,
we're done.
Right, so in the meantime, so I'm just going to ask Baggy, alright? Because he wanted to talk about this for a second. We'll just talk about it quickly, alright?
Okay.
So, a bit ago, for like the previous podcast, you said you wanted to talk to me a bit about my Max Payne 3 video because there were some things you disagreed with. We'll just do it quickly right now. What did you
Oh
want to talk
shit! I can't remember. Fuck.
Damn it, man!
Like
If you remember it, write it down, and we'll save it.
no. I mean, the only one thing I just kind of disagree on is because I guess slightly is I can understand your point as well. I think the gameplay's okay for the most part. It's a bit clunky, especially when you're jumping in the air. And the way Max moves, especially when he's on the ground, it feels so fucking unnatural. It feels so weird. To the point where it's just like, what? And him getting damaged by just just jumping off a little bit, that's kind of retarded.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can understand. But I just found the gameplay quite tight. I don't know if it's because
Yeah.
the satisfaction of shooting people in the head is just really awesome.
That's not what Max Payne is about, yo!
It's not what Max Payne is about, but as someone who wants to play a game and feel like I'm actually kicking ass with some
And Max
cool
Payne 1 and 2.
abilities. Yes, but I haven't played them. You got to think about it from my perspective.
I know,
I
but
have
I'm just-
not played.
Well, you
I
should
know.
play them. You should play
I
them
know.
in the future then.
I know. I don't. It doesn't matter. But as someone who's never played a Max Payne game, I enjoyed Max Payne 3. Not for the story. It was fucking confusing, but I do like
And
the
it's stupid.
tone. Fuck off. Let me finish.
This is the thing, the whole podcast, I'm just constantly interrupting
But
Baggy.
gameplay wise, I like it because it just felt cool to go around, use slow motion, and do all these stupid stunts and blow people's heads off.
Well, it's
that
more
was
fun
awesome.
than Max Payne 2, but
Fuck's sake! But like that, I mean, yeah, that's my only disagreement is that is the gameplay. I can't criticize anything that you said about the story because I have not played the first 2 games.
Just know that when I was playing Max Payne 3 for the review, I honestly wanted to kill myself.
Oh my.
The one thing I did wish, and again, I know you say you don't like it, but the one thing I wish you put a little, just as a criticism, just one criticism, the one thing I wish you kind of spoke more about was the music. I know you spoke about it a little bit.
I know,
but
there
like,
wasn't really much I could say about the music, to be honest. It's just kind
you
of
could,
boring, generic.
You could talk about, you could have kind of talked about like what it does for the overall atmosphere of the game, like what it adds. Does it add anything? Like you said with with my favorite track, Panama or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's a synthwave version of the Max Payne theme. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's like all the other tracks are just generic.
Yeah, I mean, I like is it called Tears or something like that?
Yeah, Tears. It's a lyric song,
Yeah.
although it's not as good as Late Goodbye. Late Goodbye was way better.
No, but
Oh,
in the context of when it appears, which is the airport mission, that song makes you feel like a badass because it's a badass song. But it comes out of nowhere at the same place
Yeah,
at
but
the same
Max
time.
Payne 1 and 2 did that as well, so I don't know if that's really worth complimenting for the third game.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that.
I know, but I'm
have
just
not
saying
played
for me,
the games.
for you, like you saying like Max Payne 3, even though you haven't played the first 2 games, that's fine. But it's just like I'm making the video from the perspective of someone who has played the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying
Yeah.
the first 2 games did it way better, so it's not really worth complimenting in
Yeah.
the third game.
I guess the one thing when it comes to you criticizing games that you don't like is kind of put the perspective of other people's, not all, but just
Well, I
time.
can't really do that because I'm not those other people, though.
No, you're not those other people, but again, it's like, oh,
I did though in
if
Max
someone-
Payne 3. I asked on Twitter if what people liked about the game. I put it in the video.
that was good. That was, if you do more stuff like that in whatever videos that you do, like Life is Strange, do that.
Because
With Life is Strange.
I've asked around what people like about it, but the thing is, the answers I get are confusing.
And if you're gonna do it with the Matrix as well, do it with the Matrix.
It's a bit late to start doing it right now. I've already written the script for it.
It's late, yeah, but when you get onto the games or whatever, ask people then, or at least just do that. Or Dead Space 3. If you ever do Dead Space 3 video, I know a lot of people don't like that game. I like it because of the atmosphere, like that's the snowy.
It's not a bad game like Max Payne 3, but it's just a case of it could have been so much better. Also, there didn't really need to be a Dead Space 3. Isaac Clarke's story was finished in Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
And I liked it because it reminded me of one of my favorite sci-fi horror films,
Alien,
which was John Carpenter's The
Alien's
Thing.
good film.
Oh my god, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, yeah, that
it
was
is
good.
literally, it's based in a snowy location with an alien that can take over people's bodies.
That was a good film.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Film. Really good remake.
I actually might watch. I might watch that tonight. Actually, thank you, but so I can't help but just see the similarities between The Thing and the Necromorph. They're so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the designs. I can't help but just think someone in the designing department or the character design department watched John Carpenter's The Thing and saw that.
Actually.
Maybe same for Bungie as well for the Flood.
Actually, the Necromorph designs in Dead Space were actually inspired by victims of car crashes. They looked at some victims as car crashes.
Yeah, you actually said that. Fuck.
Which is actually kind of a genius idea because Necromorphs is supposed to represent pain and suffering, which is what these people, the pictures of the people they used, that's what they went through. So Also, it's an interesting fact. On the main menu of the first Dead Space, the video that you see in the background is actually a video of a decomposing goat.
Huh.
Oh, shit.
Interesting. Yeah, I think
oh.
game. Sorry, you go. Sorry.
When you're talking about representation of pain or whatever, the whole thing in Dead Space 2 with his girlfriend, she's this weird, blooded up version of herself. She
Oddly
has
sexual,
these glowing
sometimes.
eyes. Fuck the sexual stuff. Maybe they could have done something like that. Maybe I don't know if that just wasn't an idea. That would have been awesome if because the director said that he used Event Horizon as a big influence as well.
Yeah.
And Event Horizon is basically about ghosts and everything like that. And when you see like these ghosts, they're all blooded up, but you can interact with them. Maybe if they did that with Dead Space, like you're basically fighting these ghosts, but they can kill you or whatever, that would have been a cool thing.
I don't know. I mean, also, although it's...
I'm not saying I don't like the idea of the Necromorphs. I think it's a fucking awesome yet terrifying concept. I was just thinking, like, maybe if you were to, show pain and misery, do it in where it looks like the person or whatever, but something just isn't right.
Yeah, and kind of as my last little thing for this, I would say the whole having the kingdom thing, I think that's really clever. But also, I think adding like that adds a real world fear to the game.
Yeah,
like like it makes you almost fear the game and the Necrom more, knowing that there's actually some real world inspiration from that.
Yeah.
It really brings it all together. But yeah, that's kind of my last thing for this.
Well, I'm going to add a little bit to what you said. How do I explain it? Because obviously you guys know that I have extreme anxiety sometimes. So obviously
do I. You're not alone, buddy. You're here with me.
I know, but I like the fact that they used his his girlfriend or whatever as kind of a main part of it. Because obviously, you don't want to see like a dead person that you cared about haunting you, do you? You don't want that shit.
I see that all the time.
Oh God.
You don't know who it's off though.
but also the uses of shadow and noises. When I was a little kid, that the stuff that my head made up, and seeing that in a really genuine scary game, that does make me feel uncomfortable, and it makes me just say, nah, fuck this. I ain't. I'm not playing this game no more. Fuck this.
Yeah.
And not to mention, when I first saw the demo for the first game, I was so terrified of it that I actually thought that a Necromorph was under my bed. I actually thought that for like a couple of hours. I remember that night. Because I was so petrified. I've never seen anything like that. So I was literally just holding my little lightsaber torch, just thinking, I'm going to chop your limb off. Fucking come near me. So,
Baggy's thinking ahead. He's a badass. You don't fuck with him. He'll chop your leg off.
Oh boy. I feel like lightsabers would work exceptionally well against the Necromorphs, though.
Exactly. Isaac, just get a lightsaber. Go.
Oh yeah. Oh, an energy sword.
No, lightsaber way better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, lightsaber. What is your preferred lightsaber? The one with Kylo Ren, standard lightsaber, or
standard lightsaber?
Dual? All right.
Yeah. I'd say standard, yeah.
Yeah. Although, like, the thing is, with Dead Space...
Let's not get into Star Wars, let's just make it...
all right, let's wrap things up.
Yeah, well, what was I going to say about Dead Space? Although it's actually funny, because I was actually watching this interview with the actress who plays Nicole Brennan. She was being interviewed by this, this one YouTube channel, I can't remember.
Make us whole.
No, okay, but her name's Tanya Clark, she's was Nicole Brennan, Isaac's dead girlfriend in the game, and she says that she would have actually preferred to the story to have like a more like to have a more like kind of like sexual vibe between like Isaac and Nicole, like
make us
dead
girlfriend. Make us whole. Ooh.
No, but it's just, and I'm just like, okay, that's interesting.
It's just a fucking ghost. I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Although it's because of her that Dead Space 4 almost got made.
Oh my!
Because after having the interview, she actually decided to help out with this like one like campaign that was like being like made to try and get Dead Space 4 made. Almost happened, but then Visceral Games got shut down.
Yikes!
So yes, because of her, Dead Space 4 almost got made.
Huh?
Like even in like the beginning of Dead Space 2, the part where you're getting interrogated or whatever, and then you see Nicole's shadowy figure.
Oh, that's
when she first appeared. When she first appeared, I was like, oh, okay, he's just thinking of her. That's sweet, I guess. But then when she starts climbing on the table, I was like, "Oh, fuck off! No,
this isn't some BDSM shit. Get it away from me."
No, it was just the way she was just crawling onto the table. It just felt so inhuman.
Yeah. All right.
Fuck off, Nicole. I'm not shoving my cock in your mouth.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
Your dead friends can fucking wait. Oh.
What? What?
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I minute here. So, do we have any last few things?
Nope.
to
I'm gonna
mention.
end the podcast.
I can end it here.
Sure.
Hidden Xperia. Make us whole,
Oh, jeez.
please.
Right. Okay. We're gonna end.
Please.
We're gonna end it here. I'll send that clip to him.
Please.
Oh,
Please
God, no.
make us whole.
Yeah. So we're gonna end the podcast, but we're gonna make this we're gonna make this a tradition from now on. Henry Badger has to give us some great words of wisdom before we end it. So let's do it. What do you have to
Okay.
say before we end it?
Okay. So let's see. Let me think of. Oh, I should have paired a fuck. I can't.
Last
okay,
time
let me
you-
think.
last
Let me
time-
think.
Last time you said keep your legs straight when you hit the water, which was very helpful. But
Okay. I would say lift with your legs, not your back. that's my words of wisdom. Lift with your legs, not your back.
perfect. I'm ending it right now.
There we go.